Take a break, so hey, she already know I'm coming. Let's get it.
It's lit. Just take a look at the drip. You boys don't get fired in this. Roll a dope, yeah, I'm high as a bitch. Wait, it's lit. Get that little bitch a little tip. Now she wanna suck on the dick. She wanna catch all of the drip, drip, drip. Pull up and I'm loading the clip. New bitch, yeah, stay on my hip. Niggas talking, they not with this shit. Catch a body, you might just get hit. But lately been all about drip. New designer, just link it to fit. And I just blew a bag on my bitch. You got clap, but you don't got the drip. You get money, that's some type of myth. I can blind you, bitch, look at the wrist. For that bag, and I might take a risk. Don't get crushed cause you care about a bitch. Pass the Henny, I'm trying to get lit. Tryna get out my body and shit. Fuck around and start bodying shit. Remember nights we was starving and shit. You my brother, I got you, that's it. We can never fall out by the bitch. We was swimming with sharks and them fish. In the field with them lions and pitch. 40 niggas be lying and shit. Talking money, don't buy their own shit. Baby mothers be buying them shit. You not lit, you depend on the bitch. For the God, man, I'm clever as shit. Still can trap any weather I'm in. Don't be working, I'm making it flip. With a whipping, you might just get sick. Don't be extra, you know we gon' win. Getting money, I've been doing this. Since a youngin', I've been had to drip. Make a movie, not talking a clip. It's lit. Just take a look at the drip. You boys don't get fired in this. Roll a dope, yeah, I'm high as a bitch. Wait, it's lit. Get that little bitch a little tip. Now she wanna suck on the dick. She wanna catch all of the drip, drip, drip.
Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Nicole Reloaded, and we loaded up and locked and loaded with another video. I truly apologize for me being late. I seen all y'all waiting for me. I truly apologize. Technical difficulties and all that other stuff. Anyway, a few hours earlier, probably would have been a little bit more exciting. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Periscope, Twitter, and to the people that are going to watch on the replay. I want to play the video. You can be more to comment if you like to. You know what I'm saying? Thumbs it up. Do whatever makes you feel good. Because I do what makes me feel good. From now on, because I used to do things that didn't make me feel good, like dealing with sorry motherfuckers. Oh, Lord. See, now I done did the darn thing. See, technical difficulties. Anyway, hold on. I don't like when the screens are split like this. Because then I get confused. And I don't know what to do. Hold on real quick. Let me play this music. I got to switch screens real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They must have thought I died. You can see the pain in my eyes. I'm on the edge, aiming right in my mind. Running up, niggas better think twice. They must have thought I died. You can see the pain in my eyes. I'm on the edge, aiming right in my mind. Running up, niggas better think twice. Yeah, saying what the gossip about. Niggas watching, ain't no hiding out. Smoking big dope when I'm riding out. You ain't getting what you lying about. It was first vibe, now it's the clout. Instagram with the hype about. A lot of niggas gonna act up. Fuck around and bring them lines out. What they saying gonna harm me? I keep something on me. Bitch pain like the army. Just for the time we starving. Yeah, stomach aches got me heartless. Yeah, I was drinking in and out the market. Hey, I ain't choose this lifestyle, that's how it all started. Hey, now I can't sleep at night. 10 toes on the stand through the back. I can't sleep at night. 10 toes on the stand through the fire. They must have thought I died. You can see the pain in my eyes. I'm on the edge, aiming right in my mind. Running up, niggas better think twice. They must have thought I died. You can see the pain in my eyes. I'm on the edge, aiming right in my mind. Running up, niggas better think twice. Yeah.
Hey. All right, so what y'all, is y'all happy with the 2020 election? Are you happy that Joe Biden is your president? Now, I got a lot of messages that people were unhappy about Joe Biden being the president now. Well, the president-elect, okay? Because if you ask Donald Trump, he said that there was a lot of illegal activities and so on and so forth. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Don't be stingy. Show the love. It's about unification versus separation. All right, let's get into this.
America at stake, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. To our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process. And for making this victory possible. To the poll workers and election officials across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted, our nation owes you a debt of gratitude. You have protected the integrity of our democracy. And to the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. And I know times have been challenging, especially the last several months. The grief, sorrow, and pain, the worries and the struggles. But we have also witnessed your courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States of America. And Joe is a healer, a uniter, a tested and steady hand, a person whose own experience of loss gives him a sense of purpose that will help us as a nation reclaim our own sense of purpose. And a man with a big heart who loves with abandon. It's his love for Jill, who will be an incredible First Lady. It's his love for Hunter and Ashley and his grandchildren and the entire Biden family. And while I first knew Joe as vice president, I really got to know him as the father who loved Bo, my dear friend who we remember here today. And to my husband, Doug, and our children, Cole and Ella, and my sister Maya, and our whole family, I love y'all more than I can ever express. We are so grateful to Joe and Jill for welcoming our family into theirs on this incredible journey. And to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris, who is always in our hearts. When she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine this moment, but she believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women, who throughout our nation's history have paved the way for this moment tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy. All the women who have worked to secure and protect the right to vote for over a century, 100 years ago with the 19th Amendment, 55 years ago with the Voting Rights Act, and now in 2020 with a new generation of women in our country who cast their ballots and continued the fight for their fundamental right to vote and be heard. Tonight I reflect on their struggle, their determination, and the strength of their vision to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And I stand on their shoulders. And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president. But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to the children of our country, regardless of your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. But know that we will applaud you every step of the way. And to the American people, no matter who you voted for, I will strive to be a vice president, like Joe was to President Obama, loyal, honest, and prepared, waking up every day thinking of you and your family. Because now is when the real work begins, the hard work, the necessary work, the good work, the essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to root out systemic racism in our justice system and society, to combat the climate crisis, to unite our country and heal the soul of our nation. And the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I. We have elected a president who represents the best in us, a leader the world will respect and our children will look up to, a commander-in-chief who will respect our troops and keep our country safe, and a president for all Americans. And it is now my great honor to the United States, Joe Biden.
knocking on the door that holds the throne. I've been looking for the map that leads me home.
They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, a victory for we the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on a presidential ticket in the history of the nation. 74 million. What I must admit has surprised me. Tonight, we're seeing all over this nation, all cities and all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, renewed faith in tomorrow, bring a better day. And I'm humbled by the trust and confidence you placed in me. I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify. Who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States. And work with all my heart, with the confidence of the whole people, to win the confidence of all of you. And for that is what America, I believe, is about. It's about people. And that's what our administration will be all about. I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, and to make America respected around the world again, and to unite us here at home. It's the honor of my lifetime that so many millions of Americans have voted for that vision. And now the work of making that vision is real. It's a task, the task of our time. Folks, as I said many times before, I'm Jill's husband. And I would not be here without her love and tireless support of Jill and my son Hunter and Ashley, my daughter, and all our grandchildren and their spouses and all our family. They're my heart. Jill's a mom, a military mom, an educator. And she has dedicated her life to education. But teaching isn't just what she does, it's who she is. For American educators, this is a great day for y'all. You're going to have one of your own in the White House. And Jill's going to make a great first lady. I'm so proud of her. And I'll have the honor of serving with the fantastic Vice President who you just heard from, Kamala Harris, who makes history as the first woman, first black woman, the first woman from South Asian descent, the first daughter of an immigrant ever elected in this country. Don't tell me it's not possible in the United States. It's long overdue. And we're reminded tonight of those who fought so hard for so many years to make this happen. But once again, America's bent the arc of the moral universe more toward justice. Kamala, Doug, like it or not, your family. You become an honorary Biden, there's no way out. So all those of you who volunteered and worked the polls in the middle of this pandemic, local elected officials, you deserve a special thanks from the entire nation. And to my campaign team and all the volunteers and all who gave so much of themselves to make this moment possible, I owe you. I owe you. I owe you everything. And to all those who supported us, I'm proud of the campaign we built and ran. I'm proud of the coalition we put together, the broadest and most diverse coalition in history. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, progressives, moderates, conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it. especially those moments, and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours. I said at the outset, I wanted to represent this campaign, to represent and look like America. We've done that. Now that's what I want the administration to look like and act like. For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment tonight. I've lost a couple times myself. But now, let's give each other a chance. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again. And to make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as our enemies. They are not our enemies. They are Americans. They're Americans. The Bible tells us, to everything there's a season, a time to build, a time to reap, and a time to sow, and a time to heal. This is the time to heal in America. Now this campaign is over. What is the will of the people? What is our mandate? I believe it's this. Americans have called upon us to marshal the forces of decency, the forces of fairness, to marshal the forces of science, and the forces of hope in the great battles of our time. The battle to control the virus, the battle to build prosperity, the battle to secure your family's health care, the battle to achieve racial justice and root out systemic racism in this country, and the battle to save our planet by getting climate under control, the battle to restore decency, defend democracy, and give everybody in this country a fair shot. That's all they're asking for, a fair shot. Folks, our work begins with getting COVID under control. We cannot repair the economy, restore our vitality, or relish life's most precious moments, hugging our grandchildren, our children, our birthdays, weddings, graduations, all the moments that matter most to us, until we get it under control. On Monday, I will name a group of leading scientists and experts as transition advisors to help take the Biden-Harris COVID plan and convert it into an action blueprint that will start on January the 20th, 2021. That plan will be built on bedrock science. It will be constructed out of compassion, empathy, and concern. I will spare no effort, none, or any commitment to turn around this pandemic. Folks, I'm a proud Democrat, but I will govern as an American president. I'll work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as those who did. Let this grim era of demonization in America begin to end here and now. The refusal of Democrats and Republicans to cooperate with one another, it's not some mysterious force beyond our control. It's a decision, a choice we make. And if we can decide not to cooperate, then we can decide to cooperate. And I believe that this is part of the mandate given to us from the American people. They want us to cooperate in their interest. And that's the choice I'll make. And I'll call on Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, to make that choice with me. The American story is about slow yet steadily widening the opportunities in America. And make no mistake, too many dreams have been deferred for too long. We must make the promises of the country real for everybody, no matter their race, their ethnicity, their faith, their identity. or their disability. Folks, America has always been shaped by inflection points, by moments in time where we've made hard decisions about who we are and what we want to be. Lincoln in 1860, coming to save the Union. FDR in 1932, promising a beleaguered country a new deal. JFK in 1960, pledging a new frontier. And 12 years ago, when Barack Obama made history, he told us, yes, we can. Well, folks, we stand at an inflection point. We have an opportunity to defeat despair, to build a nation of prosperity and purpose. We can do it. I know we can. I've long talked about the battle for the soul of America. We must restore the soul of America. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. And what presidents say in this battle matters. It's time for our better angels to prevail. Tonight, the whole world is watching America. And I believe at our best, America is a beacon for the globe. We will lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. I've always believed, many of you heard me say it, I've always believed we can define America in one word: possibilities. That in America, everyone should be given an opportunity to go as far as their dreams and God-given ability will take them. You see, I believe in the possibilities of this country. We're always looking ahead to an America that's freer and more just, ahead to an America that creates jobs with dignity and respect, ahead of America that cures diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's, ahead to an America that never leaves anyone behind, ahead of America that never gives up, never gives in. This is a great nation. It's always been a bad bet to bet against America. We're good people. This is the United States of America, and there's never been anything we've been not able to do when we've done it together. Folks, in the last days of the campaign, I began thinking about a hymn that means a lot to me and my family, particularly my deceased son, Bo. It captures the faith that sustains me and which I believe sustains America. And I hope it can provide some comfort and solace to 230,000 Americans who've lost a loved one to this terrible virus this year. My heart goes out to each and every one of you. Hopefully this hymn gives you solace as well. It goes like this: and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, and make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And now together, on eagle's wings, we embark on the work that God and history have called upon us to do, with full hearts and steady hands, with faith in America and in each other, with love of country, a thirst for justice. Let us be the nation that we know we can be, a nation united, a nation strengthened, a nation healed. The United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, there's never been anything we've tried we've not been able to do. So remember, as our grandpapa used to say when I walked out of his home when I was a kid up in Scranton, he said, "Joey, keep the faith." And our grandmother, when she was alive, she yelled, "No, Joey, spread it. Spread the faith. God love you all. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops." Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. What did y'all think about that speech there, child? I thought the speech was a good speech. I really did. I thought it was a good speech. bringing the Heavenly Father back to the White House. I was going to say, who said he ever left? The Heavenly Father, Yahshua he don't tamper with free will. We're not robots. If we go out and we make mistakes and bust our head, then it just is what it is. But the Heavenly Father will give you favor and protect you against your own self. A lot of times we are our own worst enemies. We are our own worst enemies. So what do y'all think about Jill, the First Lady? I think she pretty. I mean, we can't find her on no Playboy or nothing like that. Now, what y'all think about Donald Trump, child? Donald Trump, honey, let me play something for y'all. Y'all gonna crack the front door up. Donald Trump. Now they saying that he has acknowledged that he lost, but he is not going to come out publicly and state that he has lost. Okay, he's not going to come out and state that, y'all. So if you waiting for him to do that, he ain't gonna do that. That's what they say now. That's what they say now, child. Now we don't know now. What did they put, child? Donald Trump said he not playing with you people. You think Joe Biden your president? No, he is not. He's not your president elect. He is none of those things. You have to wait until every single vote is counted. Now, what I want to know, do y'all think there's been voter fraud? I mean, with all of those votes and everything out there, shout out to Periscope, my Twitter watchers. I truly appreciate it. Come on out from out in them bushes. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you now. What you scared for? I don't bite. Unless you want me to. I mean, you have to be a man though. I mean, no tea, no shade, but you know, I like dick. But are you excited? Are you frustrated? Do you still feel confused? How do you feel inside? Regardless who you voted for, if you voted for Joe Biden, if you voted for Donald Trump, do you feel that the country is coming together? It was very emotional to see this sea of different nationalities, just human beings coming together of all different walks of life. The United States of America needs to unify because a family that prays together stays together. This country was built on God we trust, and it seems that we ain't heard no in God we trust in a long time. Well, let's look at the fireworks in the background, I guess, child. But that's what brought me some calm and peace within my spirit, to see Americans unifying with all this division that has been going on. A lot of division. You know, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's his objective. That's what he does. Joe Biden ran 3 times for president, and on the 3rd time, he got it. You live in the best land that you could ever be able to grace. America is a beautiful country where your dreams can come true. You pray for your president. You lift him up, as well as Congress and world leaders and so on and so forth, that God will touch their hearts and their spirit for change. But the main one you need to pray for is yourself. Yeah. You're listening to your girl, Nicole Reloaded. We locked and loaded with another video. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe and all that good You know, when Joe Biden talks about his son, that man kept working. it's probably what gets him through. I can't imagine losing a child. And Donald Trump didn't try, was dragging him for his son. A lot of emotions, man. Some people were stating that they don't feel that Kamala Harris is an African American woman fully due to the fact that she is, mixed, and that parents are immigrants. They were hoping that both of the parents were African American and from America, but hey, it is what it is. But I can respect that. I respect people's feelings and their emotions and how they feel about things. I ain't no hater. I'm a participator. You know what I mean? If I don't know how you feel, I mean, we can't work through things and discuss things, How you doing, Miss Desire Independent? Welcome, baby. Oh, child, I'm sitting up here just watching this speech. This speech was a very good speech. It was a very good speech. I'm over here on my Twitter, So Ready for Love, NicoleReloaded. Y'all are more than welcome to go over there and follow your girl. Let's get some more tea, shall we? Oh, that's me. Girl, I'm looking at myself with girl, we got 9 million people watching this. How we got all them people watching this at one time, girl? Maybe one day, if that's what the Heavenly Father desire. Now look, see, this is the video I did the other day. Now they were praying. Paula White was praying, child. Miss Desire, she was, girl, she ain't never prayed like that. Girl, she prayed so hard for Donald Trump to be. Paula White prayed so hard for Donald Trump. I'm like, child, ma'am. Okay. Oh, okay. This link took me back to. Let me see. What did y'all think about Lil Wayne, Ice Cube? Wait, let me see. Oh yeah, let's talk about this real quick. Is this the video? It keeps clicking me out. It's taking me out instead of playing it right here. Okay, there was a viral post that was put on Facebook claiming that the NAACP received information that white nationalists and neo-Nazis were planning a violent attack on people. And let me play that real quick. If you can just bear with me, Miss Desire Independent, it's me and you, child, girl. We got other people, though. They over there on Periscope. They quiet, child. But welcome, beautiful, welcome. Let me stop this and share this real quick. Okay, hold on. We go to the audio. You gotta be patient, though. They're saying that it's a fraud, that it was a hoax to incite fear into the American people. Some call Balarkey. They say Balarkey. Now, the phone line number is down there scrolling across the screen. You're more than welcome. And if you want to play with my link, you can come on too, but don't use any profanity now.
Well, thanks, Ben. With the election still undecided and COVID cases rising, there's a lot of tension in the air, and that means threats on social media. However non-credible they may be, they are taken seriously.
And one such threat linked to this coming weekend said white supremacists would be targeting black people. Priya Mann takes us through what happened. Priya?
To some people, this fake social media message looked legit at first glance. It started gaining traction online, even catching the attention of law enforcement. But the NAACP says it did not share this message and has not received any credible threats.
Wanted to pause on this moment to bring clarity as there's been a message circulating.
The NAACP shared this video online after a fake Facebook message was being shared on social media and via text and email.
With regards to white nationalist organizations and their attempts to bring harms to communities of color. We thought it was important enough to let you all know in this moment that those claims are false.
The Facebook message stated white nationalist groups were having initiations this weekend, and as part of it, Black men and boys would be targeted and harmed. The message urged people to pay attention to their surroundings and spread the word. The president of the NAACP Detroit chapter, Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony, says none of it is true.
We have to take them seriously because we don't really know what's on the other end of that. But I want to tell everybody that it did not come from the NAACP.
Reverend Anthony was disturbed when he became aware of the fake social media message on Thursday, saying people started calling their branch worried about potential violence by white supremacist groups this weekend.
It is not true. It did not come from the NAACP. It's just part of this terrible environment that we're in right now, which has rumors going across from every corner suggesting all kinds of things.
In the midst of a pandemic and with a country divided following the presidential election, he's urging unity.
But my most favorite part of scripture is this, and this too shall pass. I say to everybody out there, and this too shall pass.
The NAACP has unfortunately dealt with this before. They had a similar fake threat back in July. Police are now investigating. On Detroit's West Side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Ahead at 6, the defenders investigate one of those stories that make you ask, who would do that?
All right, hold on. Now, that was the story, like I said, about the NAACP in regards to that fake post. I actually posted it myself on my wall, but as soon as I received the update verification from the NAACP, I came back and corrected it. But there has been
40 years ago.
Let me get rid of this. There has been some hangings, you know. So I don't know. Maybe the threat didn't come to the NAACP. Maybe it was dropped somewhere else. Anyway, I want y'all to see Paula White. This was my rendition of it, though. Paula White, child. Let me make it a little bigger.
Strike, angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. Strike. Angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus. We break and divide every demonic confederacy against the election, against America, against that who you have declared to be in the White House. We break it up in the name of Jesus. We lose confusion into every demonic confederacy directed right now at this election, directed specifically at the 6 states. We come against people that are working at high levels right now with demonic confederacies and secrecies and demonic plans and networks. We break.
What's up? You hear that new Kurt Franklin?
Baby, let it be. Enjoy the man. We break and divide every demonic confederacy against the election, against America, against that who you have declared to be in the White House. We break it up in the name of Jesus. We lose confusion into every demonic confederacy directed right now, election directed specifically at the 6 states. We come against people that are working at high levels right now with demonic confederacies and secrecies and demonic plans and networks. We break it up and we command that it be exposed right now in the name of Jesus. Strike and get up and we command that it be exposed right now in the name of Jesus. Strike and get up and we command that it be exposed right now in the name of Jesus. Strike and strike. The angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus, from South America, they're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa, from South America, angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement. Pika hata anda ata ora bata rata anda eke manda rasata. For I
Okay, it froze up.
hear the sound of victory. Sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. Hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory.
Oh,
It froze up on me, y'all. Oh, hating mother sucker. But y'all can watch that on my channel, though. I've been keeping up with this election to the best of my ability. Just hating on your girl. Like I don't have strong bandwidth. Please. I think it be the powers that be sometimes. I really do. Let me see. Okay. Can we get this back on the screen? All right, we're on the same screen. Let's see what we... Okay, the people were celebrating. Look how happy the people are. This is so beautiful. Oh, they ain't playing no damn music. Them people is so happy. I bet you people haven't been this happy in a long time. In a long time. I pray that, Lord, that God gives Joe Biden the strength that he needs to lead this country. It says many progressive groups and leaders are focusing their... Wait, let me make sure I got myself on mute. Okay. It says many progressive groups and leaders are focusing their attention on President-elect Joe Biden, executive branch appointments with the intense urgency, viewing their positions as gatekeepers in effect for vast numbers of policy. Look at the dog. The dog voted for Joe Biden. Well, look at them making fun. They is funny as hell. Is that who I think it is? Hold on, child.
Unlike President Trump, we do accept the results of this election.
We're not mad at them. We have to act graciously in victory, though. We need to go forward together. Unfortunately,
There are situations in life, and this is one of them, where there must be a winner and loser.
Unlike President Trump, we do accept the results of this election.
We're not mad at them.
He's going to have a difficulty in two ways. Firstly, before January the 20th, it's going to be a Biden presidency. The Biden presidency, he's on record. Let me say what he tweeted in September. Any trade deal between the US and the UK must be contingent upon respect for the Good Friday Agreement and preventing the return of a hard border, period. What that means is that the European Union now knows that there's massive pressure on Boris Johnson to agree a Brexit trade deal, which does not harm that border. And that has slightly boxed in the Prime Minister. Now, it follows from that if they can get that deal, that they then take that to the United States and say, right, we've done that. Now we need our trade deal, the one that they were hoping President Trump would sign. So he's boxed in on that and then goes to the Americans. But I just cannot see that a British-US trade deal is going to be close towards the top of Mr. Biden's in tray. Last thing I would say is keep your eye on a guy called Tony Blinken. Tony Blinken is Biden's foreign affairs consigliere, shall we say. And I know that the Downing Street people have already been trying to reach out to him to try to forge the immediate bridge, and so has the Foreign Office. I'd be interested to hear Mr. Raab on the Sophie Ridge programme.
I was talking to myself this whole time. Hi, Viper Sniper. Y'all didn't hear nothing I said. Oh, Lord, child. I'm getting old. I don't even remember what I said, neither. What's up, baby? How you doing, Viper Sniper? It's good to see you, boo. What's his, Donald Trump looked like he done lost his, that his dog done died or something. Oh, shit, what is this? Hold on. Is this Donald Trump tearing up the White House? What is this? They so out of line. Wait, oh, this is on TikTok. Somebody did put this together. Child, they is so shady. I don't know how to make the quality better. I guess Donald Trump gonna tear it up. Lord. Kamala Harris came out to Mary J. Blige. She came out to Mary J. Blige and Beyonce. I said, okay, she a black woman. She listened to Mary J. Blige. Some don't think that she a black woman. I don't know. What is that? Is this a who's the? Oh, they mad. Why are you kicking that? Stop. Yeah, then. What is that? I can't see what it is. Is that Biden or what? Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's not nice. That wasn't nice, y'all. Joe Biden moral compass on racism in the 80s. Let's listen to this, child.
What disturbs me more than the policy that you call a policy is the rationale for the policy. The rationale for the policy. You set out 4 principles that you adhere to, and then and I will go over them in a moment. Then you say on page 14, we must not become part of South Africa's problem. We must remain part of their solution. We must not aim to impose ourselves, our solutions, our favorites in South Africa. Damn it, we have favorites in South Africa. The favorites in South Africa are the people who are being repressed by that ugly white regime. We have favorites. Our loyalty is not to South Africa, it's to South Africans. And the South Africans are majority black, and they are being excoriated. It is not to some stupid puppet government over there. It is not to the Afrikaners regime. We have no loyalty to them. We have no loyalty to South Africa, to South Africans. And the fact of the matter is I listen to this rationale, first of all. It is the leaders of South Africa and their people, black and white, who have the majority responsibility. They must rise to it. Well, they are rising to it. They're rising to it. The only thing left available to them with that repulsive, repugnant regime of Afrikaners there.
Wait a minute.
The only way they have. They've tried everything for the last 20 years. They begged, they borrowed, they...
Wait a minute. I'm not trying to be shady, but did Joe Biden hair grow back? Child, you know I'm trying to look as sexy as I can, especially for you, Viper Sniper. Mwah.
They crawled, and now they're taking up arms. The second thing, progress toward peace requires a timetable. Timetable, elimination of apartheid. What's our timetable? What are we saying to that repugnant regime? These people are being crushed. And we're sitting here with the same kind of rhetoric, the same thing we heard.
Senator, let me say that I hate to hear a senator of the United States calling for violence.
I'm not calling for violence.
That's what you're doing.
I hate to hear.
Exactly what you're doing.
I hate to hear an administration and a Secretary of State refusing to act on a morally abhorrent point. I hate to hear this country. I'm ashamed that this country puts out a policy like this that says nothing It says continue the same. We put no timetable on. We make no specific demand. We don't set it down. I'm ashamed that's our policy. That's what I'm ashamed of. I'm ashamed of the lack of moral backbone to this policy.
Ooh, child. Joe Biden was checking them about, he said, the African people. Okay. I wonder, is that when it was genocide and all that other stuff that was going on? You know, Twitter will pull up all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that's the first East African head of state to congratulate the president-elect Joe Biden. I wonder, was that the one that was selling saying that if you, I don't know, I think he said if you rub some special liquor on you or something, you won't get the COVID. I wonder, is that dude?
It's good news, and I think it's good news for us. It's good news, and I think it's good news, and I think it's good news for us for a number of reasons. Because, of course, Joe Biden will rightly govern in U.S. interest, just as we govern in our own interest. But I think there's a lot of crossover, a lot of mutual interest, far more than there ever was with a Trump administration. So if you look at 3 or 4 of the biggest issues right now, the pandemic, for example, he will certainly be taking it more seriously, as we do. He's already said he's going to rejoin the World Health Organization. We'll be chairing the G7 next year, for example. That means we can work on a global recovery plan with a man in the White House that is a multilateralist, understands the need for international combined action. When it comes to trade, Joe Biden believes in free trade. Donald Trump was a protectionist. And then also, for example, when it comes to climate change, we'll be hosting the world's largest, a seriously important climate change conference next year. We'll be chairing that. And right now, we will, with the new leader of the White House, we will have someone who will want to work with us to bring about change.
Okay, so that was Sky News. Well, it seems like the world leaders want to work with Joe Biden. A lot of them came out and showed a lot of love. I was like, darn, Joe Biden lost his hair. A lot of men lose their hair, though, when they, especially in politics, I'm sure. Wonder what he said. He probably said, no, let me stop. What did he say?
Ab ki baar, Trump sarkar.
I don't know what he said. I'll probably get my channel flagged. He could have said, fuck. He could have said, fuck you, motherfucker, child. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Donald Trump. It said the photo. Wait. President Donald Trump watches from the motorcade as he returns to the White House in Washington after playing golf following joyous celebrations that erupted in Washington on Saturday after Joe Biden was declared the winner. Oh, he does not look happy. He does not look happy at all. One Day Viper Sniper. Okay, we already watched that. Ooh, child. I didn't get the beginning of it. Let's see what they say.
After the state of Pennsylvania, his home state, put him over the top today. Joe Biden will be the 46th president of the United States, and that is the scene right now at the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware, where Joe Biden will appear along with the vice president-elect Kamala Harris. Our Mary Bruce is there, and Mary, we're seeing that celebration erupt as it did in some streets, the streets of so many American cities today. In some ways, though, it's a very unusual sight for Joe Biden, an actual campaign rally.
It is something that we didn't really get to see much, if at all, during this campaign. This is victory speech meets tailgate, George. We've never seen something quite like this, a celebration like this in a parking lot. But these supporters have been here for hours, hundreds of them lined up with their cars. They are celebrating, they are dancing. People here are having a very good time. And Joe Biden will be able to enjoy a crowd in a way that he hasn't really throughout this entire campaign. This is a moment that Joe Biden has been thinking of, working towards for 3
3 decades. But in many ways, the speech that we are going to hear from him tonight will sound very familiar, hitting on those same themes that we have heard on the campaign trail and throughout his many decades of service. It's just that tonight he will be delivering it as the president-elect. He is going to talk about the need for reconciliation. He ran, of course, as the candidate who can heal this country, lead the nation forward out of what he has described as the darkness of the Trump administration. And tonight, that healing, that work begins right now. And that is why you are going to hear Joe Biden tonight, likely not only talking to his supporters here and to the record-breaking number of people who backed him across this country, but also to the more than 70 million voters who supported President Trump, George.
You see those supporters in mass, because Joe Biden was all through this campaign modeling the behavior he expected from Americans in the grip of this pandemic right now. Not masking the joy, though, David Muir, and that's what we're really seeing tonight that has been missing from the campaign trail so much this year, pure joy.
Joy and a reminder of what we've been through this past year. I mean, no matter what side you're on in this political campaign, and now the results of this election clear. America has lived through a pandemic this year, has lived through a conversation on racial justice long overdue in this country, and has lived through the political fighting. And you sense that in Joe Biden's victory, with help fueled by independents, some Republicans he was able to pull onto his side, the Midwest, the South, what we're seeing in the West for Joe Biden, Perhaps this country is ready to acknowledge that we can have different opinions, different political views, but we can still respect one another and treat each other with kindness. And he'll share the stage tonight, and this is a big deal, George, as you know. He'll share the stage with a woman who will make history, Kamala Harris, as vice president, who will speak to the nation tonight as well.
First time as vice president-elect today. Lindsay Davis, a day of joy, but so many challenges ahead.
So many challenges ahead. But first, we'll go with the revelers that we see on the screen here. That scrappy kid from Scranton who grew up with a bit of a stutter, set to become the next president, and that's what set this jubilation really in cities across the country. Global leaders started sending their congratulations. The mayor of Paris tweeted, "Welcome back, America." The mayor of London, it's time to get back to building bridges, not walls. And yet, as you say, there's so much still to sort out moving forward. Again, there was more than 70 million Americans who voted for President Trump. So how does the country unify the pandemic, the economy, and control of the Senate, which still hangs in the balance?
Lindsay Davis, thanks very much. John Carl, our chief White House correspondent. There are some things, some reminders that the era we are in is not past. President Trump back on Twitter tonight, not accepting the results of this election, making more false claims.
Not at all, George. Usually at a moment like this, you expect the losing candidate to make a phone call to the president-elect to give a concession speech that would come in advance of a victory speech. There's been no phone call from the president. There's been no hint of success of conceding this race. He is very much disputing it. He's actually on Twitter claiming that he not just won this election, but he won by a lot. Of course, he lost.
He won by a lot.
More than 4 million votes, and he's challenging. There are legal challenges, but he would have to overturn the results, George, in not one state, not 2 states, but 3 states, and yet still defiant as ever on Twitter.
No question about that. Beth Simpson, as we see the celebrations there in Wilmington, and we saw across many of cities in America today, people spontaneously coming to the streets, a reminder that even though Joe Biden is by no means an activist politician, he was brought into office on a wave of activism beginning on President Trump's inauguration day.
That's right. And I want to join Lindsay and everybody else in just taking a minute. Like today I was walking the streets in New York and watching people cheer and bereave, right? Like I just, and all of my fellow colleagues in the movement, we all said, today we celebrate, tomorrow we get back to work. Like we were just all in joy. And I think part of it is because we know that the president that we had before was so difficult, so impossible. And at least the one we've got, we feel like we can have a conversation with, we can work with, and we all worked together to install him. We all fought together. We used our resources, and he will be our president, and we're ready.
Sarah Fagan, obviously 71 million people at least voted for Donald Trump. Many of his supporters are angry and disappointed. Maybe many don't believe the results, but you also heard today from your fellow Republicans who are ready for change as well.
Yeah, one of the things I was really struck by was my social media feeds, which are filled with former colleagues and peers who worked for President George W. Bush. Jeb Bush, Mitt Romney, the late John McCain, many of them genuinely celebrating. And I look at these exit poll results, and Joe Biden got 8% of Republicans. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in a race that is going to be decided probably by about 100,000 votes in a few states, just think, if Donald Trump could have extended an olive branch, many of those passionate supporters of those individuals perhaps would have gotten behind him. It could have perhaps made a difference.
Rahm Emanuel, he'll have to build on that 8% now as president.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that they're going to have to challenge for the Biden administration is, do you want this to be a transactional election or transformational, in the way that the Reagan Democrats changed the Republican Party? And they'll be conscious of that because of the dynamics that they're going to have to deal with. And the other challenge that Joe Biden will have, and I read this piece by Balsa, I think it's really indicative, which is Dan Balsa at the Washington Post, which is he is both a restorative president and a transformational president. And those are two different impulses. And all of us see different things that we want to see in Joe Biden and then project that onto him. Part will be restoration, like, oh my God, we can, which is what people are feeling like, this weight is away from us. And then transformational to a different era, because America is different than it was when Joe Biden first got involved in politics.
And we're seeing the motorcade arrive now at the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware, just a short drive from the president-elect's home. Chris Christie, you've known Joe Biden for a long time. You've known Donald Trump for a long time. It doesn't appear that they're going to have the kind of traditional transition you would expect between presidents.
It doesn't seem like it at this point, but we're going to have to wait and see. Now, as we said, the president is going to, follow the legal course that he wants to follow. I think it's a very tough course given the map, but he has the right to do it.
You can't overturn 4 states.
Like I said, as a lawyer, I look at it, and I don't know how you do it, but if he wants to pursue it, it's his right to do that, and let him go ahead and do it. I don't think, though, that they'll have that traditional type of transition, but maybe if we get to the end of that process, the president will see that it would be the right thing to do once he had been acquitted, in terms of all his rights had been acquitted, to be able to pursue it. I do want to say one thing about Joe Biden. We're not just like political acquaintances. We sat at football games together at our joint alma mater, the University of Delaware, many Saturdays. Our boxes were right near each other where we sat with our friends. And he is a really good person. And we had a lot of fun together, despite whatever political differences we had over the years of opinion. We'd sit down at those games and enjoy being there and enjoy each other's company. And that's a really good person to have in the position that he's in now.
And Terry Moran, in the end, that's what worked for him.
That is what worked for him, because we are about to witness one of the most dramatic shifts in tone out of the presidency that we've ever had, from a megawatt reality television superstar, the #1 rated show in television for years, to a loquacious but quieter man from Delaware, and his ability really in his life to reach across the aisle and to just be himself as much as he seems to be, I think was his calling card for a lot of voters. They trust that what they're getting is what they see, and what they see is what they want after the reality star.
Martha Raddatz, a friend pointed out to me, and I guess it was fitting, that there was a Breeders' Cup race today. The winner of the Breeders' Cup, authentic.
Yeah, and I think he is authentic. I'm thinking of what he did on Tuesday. He went to the gravesite of his son, Beau. And you have to think he thought a lot about Beau today, certainly his first wife as well, and his young daughter who were killed. But Beau really propelled him to this moment. He said that he thought Beau Biden should be president someday. 5 years, of course, ago, he lost his son, Beau, to brain cancer. I think that's one of the reasons certainly he didn't run in 2016, because he was still grieving. But that grief has brought him to this day. That grief has made him, in part, the man he is today, and the empathy he shows to so many people. And the world is looking at this right now, George. The world, which saw America first policies under President Trump, especially our allies, are looking to this moment. Lindsay pointed out the mayor of London saying it's time to build bridges again. I think our allies are thinking that tonight. He's had many congratulatory emails, tweets, and other things to Joe Biden because they see the world changing under Joe Biden.
Martha Raddatz, thanks. Gio Benitez, we're watching the crowd there in Wilmington. You're in the midst of a crowd in Washington that formed immediately after this announcement was made.
Oh, absolutely, George. Right away, people were running to this area. This has been the biggest dance party in Washington, D.C., I've got to say. And it's been going on all day long, all the way up several blocks, all the way close to the White House. In fact, we have a camera that's just above those rooftops there. I want to show you what that crowd looks like right now. There you see St. John's Church. This is, of course, Black Lives Matter Plaza. And this is where we saw those protests in the summer. We remember that tear gas that was used here. So for a lot of people who are out here, this is very symbolic for them to be doing this here, to be celebrating this here on this night, George.
Gio Benitez, thanks. Rachel Scott, it was the voters of Philadelphia who put Joe Biden over the top.
It was the voters of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, a place that was the birthplace of our democracy, a democracy that, quite frankly, never created a space for someone like Senator Kamala Harris to assume the position of Vice President of the United States. So tonight, for so many, and it's in Pennsylvania, a place that has helped define our nation's history, is once again changing the course of it, George.
You know, Lindsay Davis, I thought about this today. You know, we saw that great 8-second video of Kamala Harris today when she was congratulating Joe Biden becoming president of the United States. And because this was such an untraditional campaign, even though she had her moment at the convention, she really didn't get the chance to campaign and introduce herself to the country the way most vice presidential candidates would do. Tonight is the night.
I think that tonight people are going to meet her for the first time. I mean, outside of the debates, I think, and her, reputation as being the skilled debater from her time as being Attorney General. Again, during her time in the Senate when she was asking those questions during some of the hearings. So I think that people beyond that still need to kind of get a sense of who she tried to reintroduce herself as during the convention as Kamala, right? And then the softer side, and we kind of got to know her through her sister and her stepdaughter and her niece as well. And so I'm very interested to hear what she has to say tonight.
Let's show that video from this afternoon.
We did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Byron Pitts, she was speaking to the two.
Place of our democracy, a democracy.
Byron Pitts, and because this was such an untraditional campaign, even though she had her moment at the convention, she really didn't get the chance to campaign and introduce herself to the country the way most vice presidential candidates would do. Tonight is the night.
I think that tonight people are going to meet her for the first time. I mean, outside.
Andrew Hamer won.
In flag.
Imagine.
As during the convention is. For the first time, I mean, outside of the debates, I think, and her, reputation as being the skilled debater from her time as being Attorney General. Again, during her time in the Senate when she was asking those questions during some of the hearings. So I think that people beyond that still need to kind of get a sense of who she tried to reintroduce herself as during the convention as Kamala, right? And then the softer side, and we kind of got to know her through her sister and her stepdaughter and her niece as well. And so I'm very interested to hear what she has to say tonight.
Let's show that video from this afternoon.
We did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Byron Pitts, she was speaking to the two of them, but that we is bigger than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Oh, George, without question, it is. I mean, when I looking at Kamala Harris and listening to her, I can see and I can hear Shirley Chisholm. She was the first black woman to run for president in this country in 1974. And George, she once said, if they don't give us a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. And so I think of all the women of color who brought their own folding chairs over the years to create this moment for Kamala Harris. Women like Harriet Tubman, women like Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer once said, never forget where you came from and always praise the bridges that carried you over. And I'd imagine tonight when Kamala Harris speaks, she will speak of some of the bridges who carried her to this moment. And just look at these images. This is football season, right? This looks like Friday night in America after your favorite team just won the state championship. And how wonderful for her nation in this divided time to have a night like this where people seem joyous, at least for an evening.
Mayor Drees, you're right in the middle of it.
George, I can tell you what also strikes me about this crowd, and we've been walking around a little bit here tonight, is the diversity of this crowd. And you speak about, what this moment means for women and for young girls. And there are a lot of them here tonight. Seeing so many young women, little girls, little black and brown girls wearing their Kamala Harris, Joe Biden t-shirts, waving those American flags. And for the first time tonight, they will be able to look up at that stage and see someone who looks like them. What a powerful moment for everyone in this country, regardless of politics. And it is just so striking in the midst of this pandemic. As someone who has covered every twist and turn of this campaign, it is a little surreal to be at what feels very much like a campaign rally just because we haven't seen this. Joe Biden has been extremely cautious throughout this entire campaign to only hold relatively small, socially distanced events. They are trying their best to make sure this is socially distanced. You can see, though, the crowd there is starting to fill in a little bit. Everyone, though, in those masks, following the guidelines as much as they can. It is just a moment. It is a moment for Kamala Harris and for Joe Biden to be able to look out and see a throng of supporters in a way that they really haven't been able to see throughout this entire campaign, George.
This is a moment, too, for historically black colleges and universities. Kamala Harris, a graduate of Howard University. Faith Abubi is there.
Yeah, it's quiet here right now, but the sense of pride on this campus, this HBCU's historically black college right now, is indescribable. This is a university that was established in a time where black people did not have access to education in the civil rights era and the Jim Crow era. And now you have an alumni from this university heading to the second highest office in the land. The group was here earlier on campus. They were gathered here, her sorority sisters. They've helped her campaign along this entire time. They've donated to her campaign, organized efforts to get people to the polling places. And right now at this university, they released a statement saying that a new dawn has broken on campus and that Kamala Harris has swung the Howard hammer and shattered that glass ceiling that is now in pieces and can never be put back together. There are a lot of young black kids here, young black men and women on this campus who are proud of what she has achieved. We talked to several of them this evening, and they are proud to watch her walk into the White House, not as a slave.
How does this make you feel? I'm going to pause it right here. How does it make you feel? How does Kamala, I was really excited when Kamala Harris, first came out. And then when I did some research about her, found out about the crime bill and some things like that, I was frustrated with her. And then I did more research in regards to, her background and her heritage and so on and so forth. And I think I got, in my feelings, which I suggested to everybody to get into your feelings. A lot of African American people, when we vote based on emotions more than facts. There was just some things, but look, hey, she is our vice president. She's going to be, and I'm going to respect her and give her her just due diligence, and people do change over time. So that's what I have to say. I don't know how y'all feel, but, I just wanted to stop it right there and say that. You're listening to your girl, Nicole Reloaded. We're locked and loaded with another video. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and all that good for your girl.
But in the second highest office in this nation.
Faith Abubi, thanks very much. I want to bring in Pierre Thomas as well. Pierre, you cover the Justice Department, Chief Justice Correspondent. There was so much concern among Homeland Security and the FBI in the days leading to this.
Viper says she brown.
At least for tonight, at least right now, that's not what we're seeing.
Washington is full of joy tonight. I saw so many honking horns as I came in, George. It was quite remarkable seeing people having joy in the streets, even in the Black Lives Matter Plaza, where there was so much tension and unrest this summer. And as you look at the joy, we also know that Biden and Harris will face enormous challenges in the days ahead. African Americans will be wanting some accountability. Right now in this country, we've seen that African Americans in some jurisdictions are 5 to 10 times more likely to be arrested, often pulled over at a rate double their white counterparts. So as the joy recedes tonight, there's a lot of work ahead, George.
Yvette Simpson, this was a difficult issue for Joe Biden to straddle in the campaign. He grew up in a different time, and his record on criminal justice issues was often a cause of concern in the Black community.
And he didn't quite get that right until the end. I remember he was doing a town hall with you, and it was for the first time he ever acknowledged that maybe his action in 1994 with the crime bill wasn't the best thing, and that maybe
no, it wasn't the right thing.
And so I hope he gets it right. I think he will. I think with Kamala Harris with him, I think they're going to get it right.
She didn't get it right neither.
Terry earlier, the fact
but
that
I don't
the
know.
Obama administration brought folks from Ferguson into the White House and started to build actually the beginnings of this work. And so my hope is that he will pick that up. Now, unfortunately, we have more names to say. We have more activists. We have more parents because there's been so many murders since Ferguson that we can also bring to the table. And one of the hopeful points that I have about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is I hope they take this early time to bring real people in, to bring them around the table with problem solvers and actually let them be a part of the solution. That's one example, I think, from the Obama-Biden administration where they got that right.
David Muir, he signaled the number one problem he has to solve, the pandemic.
Absolutely, and he's been very consistent on that, even in recent days, in filling the vacuum as America waited for results to the election. He often, when he came out to speak, would talk about the pandemic first and not the momentum that his campaign was feeling inside, that he was going to be the president-elect. They talked about how they met with the coronavirus task force. When I sat down with both of them, both Joe Biden and Senator Harris, they both talked about the pandemic. Senator Harris said we've got to make sure when there is a safe vaccine that it's not the people who would get it most easily that should get it first. It should be the frontline workers and families and communities that wouldn't have access necessarily. And, you know, I have to point out that Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris not only for the diversity and the history making that will come with that choice, but he chose Kamala Harris because he knew she could take the incoming fire that comes by being a first, by making history on this stage today. Her background as a prosecutor, she is tough, and he knows that she's up to the job.
No question about that. Rahm Emanuel, he's going to have to get to work on this pandemic even before he's president. First order of business as soon as next week.
Yeah, well, he also is going to be, he just named a task force, or some of the names are out. I mean, first of all, you got to think that getting the pandemic, both the public health side, the vaccine, etc., organized is the first domino of a series of things. You can't get to the economy, you can't get to other pieces until you get your hands around a problem that's now totally raging out of control. And they're going to be doing this in a very kind of...
I'm really, really shocked that our country does not have some form of bearings on this COVID. I mean, it was created in a lab. I mean, it is morphed from like SARS and let me be quiet.
Succinct manner of going at each one of these things. But the first and foremost, and I'm remembered of this story when I worked with doing the transition, President Bush helped us by just kicking the auto industry crisis out 7 to 8 weeks, allowed us to get the stimulus in place, the task force in place, so we could have a plan in place. But the first domino of any piece, and it's dependent on this, is getting basically your arms around, which is today it's at 120,000 new cases a day. We're now, used to be 40,000, 35,000. It is now tripled in just a month. And getting your hand around that and putting this back in the back.
Child, when I go to the store, I be so paranoid. I be thinking my arm's gonna fall off by the wayside. Somebody call for, if I call for, my child call for, I'll be like, back up. Wait, oh, you're my child. It's just scary. A lot of people have passed away due to, you know, COVID, man. It's real. My dad just had to get tested for that, man. And by the grace of God, thank you, Heavenly Father, Yahshua HaMashiach, that my father was negative.
Allows the economy to start to take its own healing area and then putting a floor on that. and then a growth strategy behind that.
It's going to require him, Chris Christie, calling in your former colleagues, governors across the country, Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, and I think the Republicans and Democratic governors will all be anxious to work and make sure that what they do is get the help they need for their states and some strong direction. That's what the governors want. They've been handling this. I think in the main, these governors have been handling this pretty well. And you can see around the country that the approval ratings of governors, regardless of party in states, you have Larry Hogan above 70% in Maryland. You have Andrew Cuomo in the same range in New York. So this is not a partisan issue.
There's an opportunity here. It's the opportunity that Donald Trump missed. In a divided America, we have to find what we have in common and work on it together. And obviously, we've got this pandemic in common. And Biden speaks the language of team very naturally. It's really who he is.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Wear masks is for each other. Take care of each other. He has a natural appeal to putting our shoulders to the wheel against a common problem. That's what it was another opportunity to divide for Donald Trump. It's an opportunity for Joe Biden to do the first thing he's got to do, which is find what we have in common and work on it together.
And in some ways, low-hanging fruit.
Donald Trump believes in a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But some of the stuff, I mean, I have some videos and stuff, they were removed from YouTube. But the scientists that work with Dr. Fauci, Donald Trump's not lying on the things that he said. 1 minute they said to wear a mask and not wear a mask. He's not lying about that. Unfortunately, I can't put that video up here because it would be removed. I put it up 3 times, and hopefully the people that were previewed to it, they had an opportunity to be able to watch it. I would have to get a website to, to put it on so it can't be removed. So.
I mean, you've got a majority of Americans who say, yeah, we want to wear masks. Yeah, there could be some regional differences, but a majority of Americans say, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I don't always like doing it, but it makes a lot of sense.
In this stage, the one place consistently Republicans found some difference with the president, President Trump, was on the virus. So that when you say it's low-hanging fruit, it is low-hanging fruit, both in the sense simple things you can do, but also a place where they're going to work with the new incoming president.
And Sarah Fagan, Chris Christie was talking about the governors. You think that there can be a critical mass of Republicans in Washington who are ready to sign on to at least some of the Biden agenda on the pandemic?
Well, yeah, certainly stimulus. I mean, we've been there on a stimulus package for a long time. Now, the parties obviously disagree about how much money should be provided in the stimulus. But even if Joe Biden accepted what Republicans want, it's $2 trillion. It's a lot of money that can do a lot of things for people. And they will have to meet in the middle. I think Republicans, like Democrats, are exhausted. And nobody goes to Washington and wants to fight. They want to do things. They want to have ceremonies back in their districts talking about, good things they've done. And, there's some of that in the last 4 years. But there's just a lot of conflict. And I think Republicans.
There was conflict before Donald Trump got into office,
Joe Biden to work with, assuming Joe Biden recognizes that there is many people tonight who are just as disappointed as there are people jubilant in the streets.
I was going to say, this is one of those deals you can say the global number is X, but we're going to spend it in a different way. And that's how you just basically meet you halfway, which is the Republicans say, we're going to okay with $2 trillion. Let's say that's the stimulus number. They say, but Biden's going to say, but this is how I want to divide it. I want more state and local. And they're going to say, okay. That's how you basically cut a deal on this.
And one of the things that I think Republicans, to build off what Yvette was saying earlier, where he can find common ground is on further criminal justice reform.
Yeah.
A lot of Republicans supported criminal justice reform that President Trump passed, and a lot of Democrats did. And I think there's an acknowledgement in both parties that we need to look at our criminal justice system and make it more effective and make it fairer. And you saw that in the criminal justice reform that was passed in the last couple of years. And I think it's another area where, Republicans and Democrats can come together because they already have. And they've seen some of the positive results from that.
I think, Martha Raddatz, if that happens in Washington, perhaps a lot of it behind the scenes, all the exhaustion Americans have felt over the last few years will go away because they don't have to pay attention to everything that's going on every single minute of the day in Washington.
That's right. And it is exhausting. It's exhausting for the country. It's certainly exhausting for us. You know, tonight, George, I actually walked down to the White House as well to sort of see what that was like down there, but it prompted me to call some people in Texas, in a very Trump town, Honey Grove, Texas, and talk to Carl Wild there, who was a former Trump supporter. And he said it's just very quiet there. People are accepting it. They're not really listening to what Donald Trump is saying and not saying. In other words, conceding. But he said, you know, this is democracy at work. It is democracy at work, and that's what we're seeing. And hopefully the next few years won't be quite as exhausting.
Here she comes, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
Okay, we already seen that, child. Okay, let's see if there's anything else up. I'm not gonna hold y'all up on here too much longer. Oh Lord, these look like some Trump supporters doing it. Or is this, oh, look at my shady self. It looked like some Trump supporters. This is
After 5 long and tense days of waiting, in cities that have historically voted Democrat, there was an explosion of noise and an outpouring of relief. That 1, Donald Trump had been defeated, and that 2, Joe Biden had been elected. And the emotions were probably in that order. They're celebrating as though their team has just won the World Cup.
Cloud 9.
Yes,
Simply
like it feels
Cloud 9.
cleaner. We cried 4 years ago. We went out on our rooftops and screamed in shame for our country, and now we're screaming in joy.
Just listen to Washington's soundtrack today. There is celebration going on after 5 days of tension, which has now dissipated. And this will be echoed in cities across the land. And if we turn the camera around this way, well, there's the security fence that keeps the people away from the White House.
Oh, I know he was mad as hell. Had to be mad as hell. Donald Trump? Mm-mm.
Oh, God bless you.
God love
You. Oh, my goodness.
Well, let's get a picture here.
Where did it go? Oh, it's here somewhere. Oh my God.
She's so nervous.
I know I got it somewhere because I hear it in my ear. Oh, there it is. No. Oh, gosh.
Okay, set it up.
Okay.
Take your time.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I think I messed up already.
No, take your time. Don't worry about it.
Go to your camera, mama.
Okay, you ready? You ready? All right. Come on. Let's do this. Congress is taking our picture. Good deal right here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Go get him.
You're right. We got to get that idiot out of office.
Oh God, that brings me joy. That brought tears to my eyes, y'all. That was beautiful. Oh, let me see. Oh, child. What's this? This is on BBC. I don't know. Let me see. Wait, let's see what this is. Oh, you're listening to your girl Nicole Reloaded, and we locked and loaded with another video. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Let's see what this is, y'all. Ooh.
Tonight, we're seeing all over this nation, all cities and all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, renewed faith, and tomorrow bring a better day.
Okay, they playing music. You got to go.
And you delivered a clear message.
Wait, hold on.
You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States.
Ooh, child.
Well, folks, we stand at an inflection point. We have an opportunity to defeat despair, to build a nation of prosperity and purpose. We can do it. I know we can. I've long talked about the battle for the soul of America. We must restore the soul of America. Our nation is shaped by the constant battle between our better angels and our darkest impulses. And what presidents say in this battle matters. It's time for our better angels to prevail. Tonight, the whole world is watching America.
That's right.
And I believe at our best, America is a beacon for the globe. And especially for those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African-American community stood up again for me.
Black people!
You've always had my back, and I'll have yours.
People! No, let me stop.
For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment tonight. I've lost a couple times myself, but now
okay,
let's give each
Viper.
other a chance. It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature,
Lower
see
the
each
temperature.
other again, listen to each other again.
Mm-hmm.
And to make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as our enemies. They are not our enemies. They are Americans. They're Americans.
I would have ducked. I'm like, they shooting? Oh, that's fireworks. That was beautiful. I want me a blue mask. My mask is child. My mask is my masks are black. Ain't nobody trying to pay no $40 for no mask. Let me see. Oh, what is this? Oh Lord, these people crazy. I ain't gonna say that out loud. I don't want that to happen to my Vizio. He looked like he got a boo-boo. I was glad that Donald Trump had mentioned people, acknowledged people with disabilities. I don't recall too many presidents or anything like president-elects mentioning people of disabilities because there are many of them. Let me see. I think we went down the line. Down the line. We went down the line. Down the line. Thank you, Viper Sniper. Thank you, T-Love. Thank you, Periscope. I love you guys. Y'all need to start leaving comments, Periscope. Y'all be watching, but I need y'all to say something. I need y'all to talk to me so I can know who you are. I'm going down Joe Biden's timeline on his Twitter feed. Y'all can follow me at $NicoleReloaded. Oh, I said y'all can follow me at $NicoleReloaded. You know I'm tired. Child, what's this? Y'all know I'm nosy. What's this? Oh, they probably getting some prayer or something. I ain't going on there. Not that I'm against prayer. Of course, I'm for prayer. Just don't want to get no copyright, no copyright, no copyright, no copy, no copy. All right, we all the way at the end, y'all. Ooh, child, tired. Okay. Are y'all ready for change? Is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gonna change things? Is America going to change, or is it going to stay the same? Are the Democratic Party going to come together? Are we going to come together? Are Americans going to unify? Are they just going to utilize this day to party and get drunk? Or are we actually going to come together as people? You know, people can't even get to get along on YouTube. They so busy flagging videos, doxing people, hating unnecessarily. So I wonder how these people act in the real world if they can't have any form of self-control on an application. It just makes me wonder, what would you do if you ran out a pair of shoes? Would you get up and walk out on me?
Hey, Queen. Girl, you have done it again, constantly raising the bar for us all and doing it flawlessly. I'd say I'm surprised, but I know who you are. I've seen it up close and personal. Girl, you make me so proud, and I love you.
Well, let's see. What you crying for? What you crying for? What you want Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to do for you, Chocolate? Huh? Say, I want them to give me hot dogs. I want the American people, I want the American president to give me hot dogs, Mommy. That's what I want. Yeah. You want to lay down with Mommy? Yeah. You are so spoiled. Don't you start barking. Stop. You need to go to the bathroom? Okay. Okay. Hey. I'm the mama. Oh, Lord. I gotta let her out, y'all. I'm gonna have to create something. Let me let her out. Stupid dog.
Oh, no. Oh, my God, Jesus.
Oh. She's so pushy, like a human being. She be trying me, y'all.
Try Jesus, not me. 'Cause I throw hands.
Yes, try Jesus. Don't try me. 'Cause I'll whoop your arse. Okay. Anyway, thank you, you guys, for joining me. You're listening to your girl, Nicole Reloaded. We locked and loaded with another video. May God bless you. May he bless you financially, physically, spiritually, and mentally in every aspect of your life. Remember, through God, all things are possible to those who believe, as long as you're willing to receive what God has for you. Be a blessing and not a curse. Forgive someone on this day. Because if you don't, God can't forgive you. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me.
Ow.